Sometimes I can just go through all these movies all day and just, even though there's just tons everywhere, I don't know what to watch. It's kind of hard to pick something out. Sometimes I get on a kick with a certain director or actor where I just try to watch all their different films. Sometimes I'm just into one genre specifically for a while. Or even sometimes I just like to watch only older movies, or maybe I only want to watch some stuff released in the past year. And right now, I don't know what my kick is. I think it's Hitchcock. I've been watching more Hitchcock movies, not for any reason, just because I haven't seen all his work. I've been trying to collect all his work, and eventually I'd like to watch everything, so now I am just trying to tackle that. Last night, I did watch, down here, To Catch a Thief, which, this is up there as one of his more popular movies, but to be honest, didn't love it. And I don't know why exactly, it just wasn't a movie I was getting too attached to. But luckily with Hitchcock, there's a lot to choose from. This is probably one of my favorite movies of his. Came and see it. North by Northwest. Really entertaining movie. And it's been a while since I've seen that, so maybe I should watch that tonight. But of course, there's these Hitchcock box sets right here. Hitchcock right here. And then there's another one here as well, which is stuff that came from Kino. That's some of his earlier British films. And yeah, I guess I could watch a couple of those too. But with Hitchcock, some of it, his later work is usually better, I feel like. I guess it's more popular anyway. I don't know too much about his earlier movies. So I'm always a little iffy about giving those a try. There's not a lot of information on them online about it, unless you're talking to Hitchcock fanboys who will pretty much say, "Oh, it's great." They'll say it's great no matter what. I feel like anyway. So it's kind of hard. Like I go through Letterboxd to try to read some reviews, but it's kind of hard to discern which of his early movies are better than the others. Because some of the other early movies show up on this box set, which these all show up. All the horror movies on here show up on this Tales of Terror box set, but for some reason the Hitchcock movies on the back, they weren't in the Tales of Terror box set. Maybe because they weren't horror movies, but then again, the Tales of Terror box set has a lot of movies that aren't horror movies. But this box set has some of those older Hitchcock movies that were considered public domain, but they really aren't. Brenton Films Online can explain it to you. Basically, it was believed that they were in the public domain, but they're not. So that's probably why Mill Creek doesn't try to release them anymore. It was probably technically illegal. If anybody's going to go after them about movies that came out in the 30s, especially when they're all on YouTube pretty much in horrible quality. I got some laser discs too for some of his older movies that I could watch. Secret Agent, Young and Innocent, and the other one was, I know it's over here. What is it called? Sabotage. That was the other movie. Those 3 laser discs are pretty much the best way to get the movies, currently in North America, because they don't have Blu-ray releases and their DVD releases are a bit subpar. The Criterion laser discs are the best way to go. And some of those Criterion movies that they have released on Blu-ray, like Rebecca Notorious, which I've seen those. Rebecca was the one movie that actually won an Oscar. Hitchcock almost never got nominated for Academy Awards, but he actually won the Oscar that time. But Criterion also released A Foreign Correspondent. What's another one called? The Lady Vanishes, which I also watched recently, and it was okay. I didn't love it as much as I was hoping, but they also released. I'm trying to remember what The Man Who Knew Too Much, the original, not the remake, which the remake's actually on this Hitchcock box set right here. Hitchcock remade his own film. That's not even the first time a director did that. I'm trying to remember. I think it was the guy who did the Ten Commandments. No, now I'm forgetting. Oh, I don't even remember. It was either Ben-Hur or the Ten Commandments. One of those movies. The director like remade the movie years later, and the remake is the more popular film. But I can't remember if it's the Ten Commandments or Ben-Hur. But I'm not going to try to guess here. But anyway, The Man Who Knew Too Much was the other criterion, and the last criterion was the 39 Steps, right here, which is a very popular Hitchcock film, which is one of his earlier movies, and you know what? That will probably be the one I watch tonight. So, sorry I kind of went off on this one, all on a strange trail of Hitchcock talk, but, you know, it was kind of hard to move around and just to think of something I should watch, but that's my process pretty much. That's kind of the thought process I have, even when I'm not filming. That's the kind of stuff that goes through my brain, like, what do I watch? Well, there's this, and I start categorizing everything in my head. Let's get to watching.